Coach, I want to ask you about defense first in that first game against Minnesota. In the second half, the Lynx had that big third quarter. Then when you go to Seattle on Monday, you really hold them down in the second half, third quarter, fourth quarter. Did you see a step forward by your defense from game one to game two?
Yes, totally. Every day getting better, just getting more comfortable with each other and figuring out, lineups and different strings to pull, and also just, you know, motivating factors and ways to push buttons. And so it's very early, but I'm encouraged and I liked our response in game two.
Yep. Coach, with having such a dynamic backcourt, what are some of the things you're excited about as they come together and learn how to play with each other
Yeah.
on the court? What are some of the dynamics you're looking for there?
Yeah, just no ceilings with them. Just trying to continue to put them in positions to feel comfortable with one another. So that'll continue to get better day in and day out. And I just, again, am encouraged by the two of them, their trust and respect in each other, and how intentional they're being of building that relationship and just kind of talking through it on the floor. And what are the shapes, what are the actions that we like right now. So I just like that there's ongoing dialogue. So we'll have patience, and then at the same time, some urgency to figure it out sooner rather than later.
We had Myisha Hines-Allen here last year, second half of the season.
Yeah,
She was awesome, great teammate,
yeah.
super hard worker, obviously very, her game. What have you noticed already about just the type of player she is and the type of teammate she is?
Yeah, just incredible human, great for our locker room. I love that she has just a levity about her, just the humor, the lightness that she brings. And then, she's the oldest player on our team. So, she's our vet. And she has championship experience from her time with the Mystics and then with the short stint with Minnie last year. So, I think our team, has respect for her and when she speaks and the experiences that she brings.
There's obviously a lot of attention on Paige this week when back here. How do you think she's handled all of the extra stuff?
Yeah, it's just really impressive. She takes everything in stride with such grace. Never makes it about her, always making it about others, and just super grateful and appreciative. And it's just impressive to watch how she is able to handle everything that comes her way.
And do we expect to see Lusa tonight or more?
Luis is available, and we'll see how the game flows out.
But when guarding someone like Myisha Kalia, what are some of the important things like pre-catch positioning, making her play in the crowd, things like that?
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to mix it up. So, who's starting on her? Are we being physical with her, taking away her space? And that goes in general for everybody, right? We were just very reactive in game one. Minnesota got very comfortable early. They established their tempo. We were on our heels, so we were just very reactive. So, challenging us tonight to come out a little more proactive and establish a physicality and dictate more on offense. When we can do that, then we can be in our spots earlier and be able to get to some coverages and different looks for Fee and Courtney and all the other really good players on their team.
Dorothy on the Zoom, go ahead. Dorothy, are you muted? There you go.
Here. I'm sorry, Coach. Can you hear me?
Sure can, Dorothy.
Hi. Hi, how you doing, Coach? I think you may have already answered. I couldn't really hear all the questions, but what are you looking for from the team in the first, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes to ensure that you guys don't end up playing catch up later on? So coming out the gate, exactly what are you looking for from players, from ball movement, that first 5 or 10 minutes? Thank you.
Yep. I'm looking for a toughness and a physicality defensively. And that goes with our being able to dictate and have discipline. I just thought, again, Minnesota dictated, and then we were gambling a bunch defensively and out of position. So toughness, physicality, dictate with discipline.
Rob, go ahead.
Thank you. Rob Johnson from the Podium Finish. Coach, your team showed a lot of fight, especially in the second half of Monday night's game against Seattle. So just curious, how do you feel about their ability to carry that same swagger and energy going into tonight's matchup against Minnesota, especially with the two-headed scoring threat we saw on Monday night?
Yep, looking to build on that momentum, right? Just continuing step by step, and excited about the second half performance defensively. So if we can bottle that up and reproduce that, and then the offense is just going to continue to get smoother the more and more comfortable we get with one another out there.
Thank you.
I'm fooling on the mic. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, how are you tonight?
Hey, Ron, great.
All right. Quick question. Everything's been answered that I was going to ask. Kyla Charles, she has been impressive. Talk about the energy she brings off the bench.
Yeah, Casey is just that she's a true pro, right? She's been in and out of this league and she has great experiences, but she just is about her business. And so she's been reliable early. The thing that is impressive is she just is going to do what she does, and owns that. So when she comes in, expect her to get up and defend with a physicality and a toughness, and then expect her to crash every single time. Expect her to dominate in the margins in those small plays, night in and night out, possession in and possession out. And those are the little things that add up to, those are winning plays. So she's been super impactful. So continuing to, find more moments for Kyla and get her more and more involved.
Fran's got a question for you, Coach.
Hey, Chris, Fran. So question, I didn't hear if you answered this about the pick and roll with Nafisa and Courtney. Any adjustments to that, or more just, as you said, solid principles to stick with? Because that they were pretty amazing in the first game.
Yeah, that's a pretty dynamic duo. One of the toughest pick and roll combos in the league. So, yeah, we'll look to give them some different looks. But again, just from the get-go with a different level of fight and physicality and discipline to what we're trying to accomplish. And then, of course, finding ways to mix it up to keep them off balance.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Go ahead. Ari, you're on mute if you're talking.
Okay, sorry. Hey, Coach. You already talked about some of the things that Myisha has brought to the team. When she was brought on, what were some of your expectations for her, and what has she provided already?
Yep. Number one, leadership in the locker room with a young group. Come in and help us to be able to establish this the right way and build a nice, solid foundation. And she's been doing that. And then on the floor, looking for her to continue to have an expanded role as a facilitator, right? I think she is just with her size at the post and her ability to play make at the 4 position. And yeah, you've seen some of that early. I think she had over 5 assists in both games, right? So putting her in position to make plays for her teammates while also still finding opportunities to score. I think she's passed up on some easy buckets, so she needs to still remain aggressive to score the ball and then let the reads happen. Sometimes she just wants to pass it too much.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How's it going today? So just want to just ask a question about the game pace. So for the first 2 games, the season opener, it looked like we came out a little bit slow. Last game against the Storm, we came out a little fast. So what would be the game pace we would think on offense for the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I want us to come out fast and as fast as we can without turning the ball over, right? So the tempo is going to be different every night, but we want to get the ball out, make some misses, and get up the floor. If you give Minnesota a chance to set their D, you're really going to have to execute in the half court. They've been together. They have a good defensive system. They're all 5 pretty connected on that end. So the more we can first get misses, then to be able to run. But if we can establish an early tempo, you can attack before they're truly set and ready. And hopefully we can create some advantages early and then just share the ball and make simple plays.
Jordan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Jordan from Television Sports. Hope you're doing well today. So I wanted to ask about Tiara McCowan. We saw her get more minutes during the Seattle game and make the most of her usage. So just talk about what are you looking from her tonight on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I was really proud of T's performance in game 2 and looking for more of that, just to continue to come off when her number's called and be a spark. So with her energy up and down the floor, with her presence on the block, people have to game plan for her. So we've got to be intentional about making sure she touches the ball when she's in the game down there, but then also challenging her to play with energy and make something happen for herself too, right? So that's in transition, running, screening hard, putting pressure on the rim, rebounding every time, just doing all those little things. And then really competing on the defensive end as teams look to put her in action. So she was great. We'll see more of that from T.
Louisa is not only adjusting to a new team, but also like the differences between FIBA and WNBA. Just what are some of those differences that the team has kind of helped her like prepare for before she plays her first game?
Yeah, I mean that'll come along. We haven't had a chance to practice with her yet, but just sitting down with her, talking, and listening to her, she's extremely smart. So she's been able to pick things up quickly in film sessions, in shoot arounds, and then leaning on her teammates just to make her feel as comfortable as possible.
I do want to ask about DiJonai real quick. Just she's kind of had a tough time maybe finding chemistry so far within the offense. What do you think it'll take to unlock her in this offense?
Yeah, I think it's everyone, right? It's new and everyone's new playing together. So there's just a level of trust that and patience, and that's really it. It can get frustrating early on, a couple games in, because you want it all to click pretty quickly. But the more patience we can have, and the more we play together, the more they talk, and the more they feel, the read and react and the cuts off of each other. So I'm not too concerned with that just yet. DiJonai will be fine, and we need her to be a scorer as well. We need everyone hunting offense. So.
Last one to Maya. Go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering, how have you seen Arike regroup after Monday night's performance?
Yeah. Arike will be just fine, right? She's a scorer. She has the ultimate confidence, so she'll be able to turn the page and come out tonight and be the Arike that we know. And for us as a staff is to continue to empower her and help her and put her in positions to be successful. So we'll look to help her to get into an early flow. And then for her too, just trusting it, not forcing it. I feel like at times, you try to force it and you need to just kind of let go. Just let go and play and make simple plays, and then it comes back to you, and then you can get comfortable and you start feeling good and you start turning it on. So we'll be intentional about trying to help Arike feel more comfortable and get into a better flow, though.